What's good? It's Wrestle Kingdom, and today I'm going to be discussing the recent episode of AEW Dynamite. Finna jump straight into it. We start off with Mercedes Moné as your new TBS Women's champion after defeating Willow Nightingale at Double or Nothing this past weekend. She cuts a promo. Basically, she talks about the match with her and Willow. Talked about her being the new TBS champion and talked about her future opponents for the TBS championship. Then out of nowhere, Sky Blue goes on the Titantron. She's on the Titantron talking to Mercedes, and she ends up showing the footage of that happened about like a month ago of her getting attacked. Then she ends up saying that she was the one that attacked her, and she's coming after Mercedes Moné. Then she comes in a ring and attacks Mercedes Moné from behind, and that's the end of the segment, and that leads to a match later on tonight for the TBS Women's Championship, which I was very surprised because typically they do it for the next following week, but they did it for tonight's show. This was a bit disappointing because we waited an entire month to figure out that it was Sky Blue of all people that attacked her. And from a story perspective, it still doesn't make logical sense because you have Sky Blue attack Mercedes, have her wait an entire month for her to finally go after her title opportunity. That kind of, it would have made more sense if this was Chris Statlander that did this, mainly because for one, Chris Statlander was the one that was denying the accusations, and two, it would make more logical sense for her to do this because she was pretending to be Willow's friend around this time. She was pretending to be Willow's friend to support Willow, and she's the one that ended up costing Willow the match as well. So it would have made more logical sense for Chris Statlander to be in this position. It doesn't make logical sense for Sky Blue to be in this position because why, if you're Sky Blue, why would you attack someone and then wait a month after they have a title defense that they could have potentially lost in order for you to face them? Because this could have been Willow Nightingale right here. Willow could have retained, hypothetically. Hypothetically, if Willow would have retained, what would have happened here? Like, this didn't make sense. Like, at least with Chris Statlander, it works both ways because for one, you already turned her anyway. It would have worked both ways either way. If Chris Statlander, if I don't get it, it doesn't make sense to me. But this is their angle they're going with. We see how this plays out. But yeah, that didn't make no sense to me. Next, we get Swerve Strickland versus Kill Switch. Not going to speak on the match. We already know who's winning this match. Swerve Strickland is picking up a victory here. But after the match, though, love what they did here. Swerve Strickland gets some scissors, and he ends up cutting a piece of Kill Switch hair. This is a callback to a couple weeks ago when Kill Switch cut one of Swerve Strickland's locks off of his head. So this is a good callback. Swerve Strickland gets his payback. He ends up cutting a piece off of Kill Switch hair. I love what they did there. Next, we get an eliminator match with Jon Moxley. No, actually, no. It was a quick little segment where Jon Moxley basically accepts the eliminator match from Rocky Romero for the IWGP Championship. I'm just going to say this now. These eliminator matches is the dumbest thing ever. This is the dumbest stipulation ever. It's so stupid. You have to beat the champion in order to get a future opportunity. It's stupid because, for one, the champion is not losing. When does the champion ever lose a non-title match? It never happens. So why have a non-title match against the champion for him to lose anyway? It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Eliminator matches is the dumbest idea I have ever heard because we all know the champion is not losing, especially against Rocky Romero. If you're going to do an eliminator match, it needs to be against someone that is credible. Like, having Jon Moxley face Rocky Romero, it's like having Cody Rhodes fucking face Ivar. Like, as good as Ivar is, like, we know, like, come on. Like, really? Like, come on. Yeah, these eliminator matches are stupid. They need to stop. Next, we get Chris Jericho and a learning tree. I think they called this segment, like, TV time with the learning tree or something like that. This segment went on way too long, and it didn't make sense. Basically, Chris Jericho talks in a promo. They didn't really say anything because this promo dragged. Like, it dragged on for a while. They end up calling Brian Keith in the ring. He's the new member of the Learning Tree, being under Chris Jericho's, mentorship. Brian Keith starts talking about, how Chris Jericho is disrespected and how he respects Chris Jericho and he wants to, be under the Jericho Vortex or whatever. Then, like I said, this promo dragged. Kept on dragging. It was ridiculous how long they dragged. Then Hook finally comes out. took a, this was like a 10-minute segment, or at least felt like it, because this was way too long. Hook comes out, he comes out, takes out security, then just stands there. Then Samoa Joe's theme music hit, and he comes not from the entrance ramp, he comes from somewhere else, and looks at Hook, stares him down, whispers in his ear, and then they both walk off. And that's the end of the segment. Like, I'm so confused. Like, if that was the plan, you could have cut this segment by like 8 minutes. I don't know how long this segment was. It felt like 10 minutes, but if it wasn't 10 minutes, my mistake, but it felt that long. Like, you could have had this be a 2-minute segment. This did not need to be this long, because Chris Jericho, Brian Keith, none of them said anything that it felt like they were just dragging it. It felt like they were just wasting time. They were just wasting time until Hook came out. And then also, why? Now they're trying to do this thing where Samoa Joe, because later on in the night, Samoa Joe ended up getting an interview with Hook, ended up saying that we don't do things on their time, we do it on our time, something like that. Why is Samoa Joe helping Hook? Now I understood he had that little segment like a week or two ago where he said if Hook, I forgot what he said specifically, but he gave Hook some advice. But based off Samoa Joe's character, it doesn't make logical sense for him to even want to help Hook. Samoa Joe doesn't even help people like that. He typically don't, like, that's not even in his character to naturally want to help a person. Typically, he has some type of motive or something. Like, it's not in his character to naturally want to help a person just because he's a good person. Like, that's just not him. So, I'm not understanding where this is going. It doesn't even make sense, in my opinion. And the learning tree, oh my God, this gimmick. It's unfortunate because I love Chris Jericho, but man, this is hard to watch. Like, it's so hard to watch this and actually care for it because, man, this is so hard to watch. And the thing is, I like the gimmick. Like, the idea of the gimmick is smart, but the execution is just so bad. Like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is all over. You guys let me know if I'm tripping, but to me, this just makes no sense. I think this entire thing is just stupid. But next, we get a Don Callis segment. He comes out with a contract for Orange Cassidy to sign to be a part of the Don Callis family. Long story short, Orange Cassidy comes in the ring. He whips the contract open. He rips it in front of Don Callis' face. Don Callis gets mad. It looks like Orange Cassidy looked like was about to attack him. But then I think Chris Statlander and Stokely come out. They come out. They say something. They didn't say too much. They talked about Willow Nightingale. Chris Statlander ended up saying something about, I forgot what she said, but that, oh yeah, she said that of the new member of the Don Callis family by my friend personally. Out of nowhere, you see Trent Beretta in the corner. Orange Cassidy doesn't see him. Trent Beretta attacks him, and now Trent Beretta is the new member of the Don Callis family. They end up attacking Orange Cassidy. They end up doing the signature, best friend hug. Don Callis ended up hugging Trent Beretta. I'm somewhat interested to see how this goes. I'm a little confused because why did you have Trent Beretta lose twice to Orange Cassidy and didn't have him join Don Callis' family? Don't understand that. You could have had him lose, but he should at least won one match by now. If he would have won the first match and then he lost the second, you could get away with that. But you lost twice to the same guy. Now, yes, he didn't lose fully like Orange Cassidy didn't like demolish him or anything, but he did lose cleanly. Now, both of them was like roll-up pins, but still, like, I don't understand this angle, but it's interesting to see where this goes, though. Next, we get a quick little interview segment with Daniel Garcia. Basically, he's going to go after the International Championship. I'm not going to speak too much on it because we already know how this is going to go. AEW does the same thing with Daniel Garcia over and over again. They push him, then they stop, push him, then stop, push him, then stop. It's a repeating cycle, and we know he's not beating Will Ospreay, so there's that. Next, we get Mercedes Moné versus Sky Blue. Not going to speak too much on this match either. This was a fine match. It was fine. Mercedes picked up the victory, retained her championship. But after the match, though, we get Stephanie Vader, if I'm not mistaken. She's from New Japan. She's the New Japan Women's Strong Champion, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like that's probably her potential opponent for Forbidden Door, which I'm excited to see how that goes. I don't know much about her, so I can't really say that's going to be a banger of a match or not. But I'm interested to see how that plays out, though. Now, next, we get a quick little interview segment with Stokely and Chris Statlander. Basically, they ended up admitting to why they did it. Basically, they ended up saying that it all started around when Willow Nightingale became the #1 contender for the championship. Chris Statlander felt like that was her position, that she should have won that match. and Stokely ended up basically, then Chris Statlander basically said that she's tired of being the protector. She's tired of sticking up for people, that she's finna only focus on herself, and that the locker room needs to watch out, basically. I will say this, Chris Statlander, she needs to improve her microphone skills, because, oh my God, it was kind of hard to listen to her talk, because, man, oh, man, it was hard for her to talk, man, because, man, it was hard listening to her promo in this interview segment. It was hard to listen, but I'm excited to see where this storyline goes, though. Next, we get the Elite. We get a promo segment with them. They end up, talking about what happened at Double or Nothing, kind of ramble a bit, but then they mention the TNT title, because Adam Copeland has to vacate the TNT title due to injury, and Nick Jackson tries to pull basically a Vince. He tried to pull a Triple H. He tried to give the championship to Jack Perry, but Christopher Daniels comes out and ends up saying that he is the new, I think he calls himself like an executive president or something like that. Basically, whatever he announces comes directly from Tony Khan, and he ends up saying that you can't just give Jack Perry the title, and that there will be qualifying matches for the TNT Championship, which will lead to Forbidden Door in a 6-man ladder match, and that's going to determine who will be the new TNT Champion. Can't wait for that, because that match should be a banger. The ladder match for the TNT Championship should be awesome. I can't wait. I love how the Elite tried to pull a Triple H from like back when Triple H just got handed the World Heavyweight Championship back then. I love how they try to just do that. That would have been crazy if they would have pulled that off and just gave Jack Perry the title. Interested to see who's going to be in the tournament, though. I'm assuming Jack Perry still is going to find a way to win. Now, in the tournament, Christopher Daniels said there's no interfering, there's no people from ringside, but we know how that's going to go. We know there's going to be shenanigans in some of these matches. They always say that, but it never happens. But I'm interested to see how this plays out, though. Now we get to the last part. What I was about to say? Yeah, we get to the final match. I was going to mention also, Jon Moxley and Rocky Romero happened. Do I really need to speak on that? We know Jon Moxley won. Now we get to the Casino Gauntlet match for the winner of this match ends up facing Strickland at Forbidden Door. I'm going to make this very quickly, because the winner of this ended up being Will Ospreay. What the fuck? Like, what is the game plan here? Because this match is going to cook, but why? Like, why? There has to be something. There has to be more, because why are we pulling the trigger on this match this soon? I don't get it. I really don't. Especially with the way AEW's booking is right now. Because for one, they have a way too low of a roster. So having a double champion at this point is stupid, because they can barely manage the talent that they have. So having double champion limits the roster significantly. Also, I don't get why they need to have Will Ospreay fight for this championship now. You just won the international title. You couldn't have at least a title. Now, he's going to have a title defense on Collision this Saturday, but they couldn't have him have a couple of title defenses before they do this? I don't understand this. And then we all know Will Ospreay is winning this match. I love Swerve, but we all know any person with a sense of booking knowledge knows that AEW values Will Ospreay more than Swerve. We all know this. We all know Swerve Strickland is nowhere near the top of the priority list. We know it goes MJF, Will Ospreay, possibly Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, and then I don't know who's the fifth spot, but maybe someone over him as well. Like, I don't understand the logic. You could have just had Jay White win this match. You could, because Jay White's at least, you could have had Jay White win. No one would have cared. I don't understand it, because this right here is either Will Ospreay wins or this becomes like a sticky situation where it becomes like a double count out or something and both retain. Because I don't know how Swerve wins. Now, I know some people say Swerve could turn heel, Don Callis could interfere in the match. That's the only way I see this working, is if Will Ospreay loses due to interference. But Will Ospreay is booked so strong where I don't even know if interference is enough. So I don't know where they go from here. I think this is kind of stupid. I think this is pushing it too early, in my opinion. But, because what is the game plan afterwards? Like, you're just going to have Will Ospreay be double champion? Like, I don't get the long-term plan here. I really feel like there is no long-term plan here, in my opinion. But you guys let me know. This Dynamite was not that good. This was very boring. A lack of direction is going on right now. It's unfortunate. But you guys let me know what you guys thought of this. Let me know what you guys think of what they're doing for Forbidden Door. Let me know what you guys think of this. Yeah, I don't have much to say on this, but I am still shocked they really pulled the trigger on this. But yeah, but the moment Will Ospreay was in the match, I had a feeling he was gonna win. But you guys let me know what you guys think of this situation here. You guys let me know. Yeah, make sure you comment down below because this stuff is still shocking to me. But yeah, you guys comment down below what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, that's it.